being part of community is really important. And when I rediscovered Cedar Key, I guess it was in 2019, after living in California, it was nice to come back to Florida, and nice to come back to old Florida. Ways of were kind of more close to the way they used to be, the way I grew up, being exposed to a small town environment. People know you, call you by your name, make up new names for you, whatever it may be. People recognize you. People talk. And I think that's kind of it's missing in a lot of communities throughout our country. So what Cedar Key is got is very special, and I would feel very fortunate to have been part of that community. And like many people that go there, you kind of try to find where you fit in, and then you realize there's a lot of people that don't fit in, that go to Cedar Key because they don't fit in anywhere else. And you got a bunch of misfits on the island, which makes it interesting, and that's what I like. I enjoy all the artists, the musician, all the different people from a variety of backgrounds that gravitate there, live there, visit there, because it's a kind of magical place. Now, since the storm, it's been a work in progress. Living in the storm, before, after, during, I got to see a lot of things from a lot of different perspectives. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, it's what it is. One of the things I experienced wasn't too good, and things happen, mistakes are made, and that's going to happen. It's just life. But we also have to correct mistakes that have been made. And I think that's the true test of character, is when things are going bad, to address those bad things and make adjustments. Openly talk about them, figure out solutions, and that's why I'm making this video. I don't like to put out negative stuff and beat people when they're down, or talk bad about a community that I care deeply about, and I think a lot of other people care about the community. However, I feel some things that need to be addressed. That's how we're treating people who we're letting come and go in the community, and the ability to support local people in need, local business people, local workers, and local, the people who have lost everything. You want to give them some grace, allow them to rebuild, and help them be part of the community again. But what happened to my household was the exact thing that I think we don't want happen in our country or anywhere. As you have people literally broke into our home, undocumented foreign workers come into our house, destroyed all of our stuff. We have 6 foreigners coming in our house, coming in our community, raping and pillaging our community, basically, of goods, services, and walking on top of the men that are in there trying to rebuild together and work together. And we're being shooed almost out of the community, run out. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think we should be watching after each other's back, pitching in where we can, sharing resources, sharing people, sharing whatever means we have to help protect, provide for our families and our communities. But I have a problem with some of the stuff that happened, and I'm not going to let it go until I have some resolution of that issue. So that's what this video is about. It's me kind of walking through what the steps are and what that looks like. And a lot of times we aren't taught some of these methods of conflict resolution, how it looks. What I've always brought up, you try to address the individual in person. If possible, you call them on the phone, you write them a letter, you try to address things one-on-one. The last thing you want to do is get law or legal law involved in this. Or bring your stuff out in public. However, when I'm being attacked and I'm being police called and harassed by the police and threatened to be thrown in jail for asking questions about my personal property that was taken, I've got some issues, some legitimate issues, and these are going to get addressed somehow, some way, so we can move forward. Now, what that looks like, I'm not sure. I haven't been in one of these situations before, but I'll figure it out. I'll find a way to come through it. It's not a big deal. But for the people that have been running the schemes and abusing people, taking advantage of people when they're down, there's a price to pay for that. At some point, you got to pay the price. Now, I'm not one to say that let's start violence or any of that. It's the last thing I'd want to do, ever. I actually friends, when all the stuff was happening during the storm, they saw what was going on, and they were asking if they needed to show up with, the lead pipes and axe handles. I didn't want that. I don't want that for anybody. To have that battle going on. But I want to make sure that we're addressing some of these issues. And to me, the issues of safety for the homeowners, the renters, the visitors, is one of the most important things we should address. And it hadn't been addressed with me yet.